Well, hello everybody! Oh my goodness! And welcome back to episode number 87's after show for Windwalking Mooks, or something. We're talking with Calligraphy and Iryshe about Windwalker monks. Gonna take some questions from chat room. There they are! Hello! Oh my god, the Daystar! Iryshe, the Daystar! Oh my goodness! Are you Did you glyph a different color for your chi explosion? Is that what's happening right now? Is this...
No, I didn't glyph Rising Sun Cake, so now it's gold.
Oh god, you didn't. Yeah, that's right. That's.
God, and I don't have any tomes to clear mine. We're screwed, guys.
Oh crap, baskets.
Wow, jokes.
Wow, jokes. Yeah. So there was a huge question that came up in chat, and you guys were trying to talk about it during Skype. It was the question from Slim Tim. About, I'm a Brewmaster Monk right now, switching to Windwalker this week. I've had trouble learning the ins and outs of Windwalker. Do you have any advice someone that switches from BM to Windwalker? Are there any real good weak auras or add-ons that help you know when the best time to burst is? He added, when all of your things like proc, trinkets, enchants, or whatever. As a DPS, you never really, like, trinkets maybe, but your procs and enchants, you don't really like min-max around them unless monks do, because you really can't time everything.
Not the enchant, but the
you'd be using Tiger Eye Brew at like 2 stacks all the time, and that's kind of a huge loss.
So
so I guess gearing wise between Brewmaster and Windwalker, just abandon all your Brewmaster gear because you're using a lot of bonus armor and mastery, whereas Windwalker doesn't really want either of those. We probably don't want bonus armor.
No.
But you die less.
Not really.
You only get those obviously on your jewelry anyway, your neck.
Yeah,
cloak,
jewelry,
rings,
trinkets, etc.
trinkets,
Don't be like me where you go in and you were tanking and then you have to go Windwalker and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm not doing any damage. Why is that? Oh, I'm still using bonus armor.
And mastery proc trinkets.
No, man, I heard those are really good. I heard you guys really like mastery, right? Yeah. This one, so Just Playing Creepy wants to know, do you still take the minor glyph of Blackout Kick if you run Chi Explosion?
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you want to take another minor glyph, fine, but you're not really replacing anything.
There's no interaction, right?
Yeah.
No other minor glyphs gives combat interaction anyways.
Right,
yeah.
Fair enough.
Also going kind of back to Slim Tim's, because he had a very long multi-part question here.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. For weak auras, we were both talking. There's the Storm, Earth, and Fire add-on, which you can use. I personally use a weak aura because it does about the same thing, but it doesn't break whenever you're on PTR or beta. Iryshe probably uses more weak auras. The other things I track are like Tiger Strikes, Haste buff, which would be Lust or Heroism, depending on your faction, or your Tiger Palm, Rising Sun Kick cooldown too.
Right.
And also, like a good advice for somebody swapping from Brewmaster to Windwalker is swap your Blackout Kick and Tiger Palm feats.
Absolutely.
As a Brewmaster, every global is filled with the Tiger Palm if nothing else is available. As a Windwalker, if you're doing that, you're doing no damage.
Right,
yep.
Okay.
And you're probably wasting a lot of chi.
Yeah.
If you guys hear any crazy thunderstorms in the background, it's weird because, like, Iryshe is dealing with, like, the crazy sun, and I'm, like, the wicked thunderstorm behind me, so hopefully I don't explode.
Sitting here with... I don't even know what the weather's like.
Wait, Calli, get something Earth-related, and he could be Storm, you could be Earth, and I could be Fire.
Well, if it helps, I actually can see the hill outside.
That just happened.
Because I'm kind of in this valley thing, so I can see dirt.
There's my idea for the thumbnail images. That's literally what we're going to do now.
As far as knowing when to burst, unfortunately, that kind of comes with the territory of just knowing your spec. The big thing is Tiger Strikes, and hey, I have like every proc up in the game. I should probably use Tiger Eye Brew. So that's, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Can we get some final claps in chat for that one? My goodness, man, that was. That's why the emote is there. Woo! Yeah, that's pretty good.
And that is why you're getting kicked from IRC later.
Like right now, she's kicking you right now.
I'm not even logged in. I'm gonna log in just to do that.
I'm in IRC.
Yeah, if you're a monk and you have questions and you don't want to ask Twitter, if you don't have Twitter, please jump on the
absolutely.
IRC.
So the big thing to know with the Monk IRC is that rule number 1 is Wheaton's Law, don't be a dick. Number 2, don't interrupt important chat, which would be theory crafting takes precedence over everything. Then it's any Monk questions that you have, and then it's the chit chat. If someone's chit chatting and you're trying to answer a question, they're getting kicked and probably timed out.
Fair enough. Good.
We're all really helpful. Just if you ask a question and nobody answers, it's because we're not there.
Sure, we're not there, or maybe there's no one of your spec present at that moment. We're usually,
There definitely is
most
plenty.
of us know most specs anyways.
Yeah, there's plenty of places for. It's weird. Only certain classes even have IRC options, and if you're one of those classes that can take advantage of an IRC, these really great people and theory crafters and math heads and players, and please take advantage of that. Absolutely.
Except the Death Knights that hang out in our IRC.
Well, but Nazuvius does what he wants.
Their own.
Daniel on Twitter wanted to know, Irish, do you even praise the sun?
Praise the sun.
So yes, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I've never played Dark Souls, but yes.
Oh, okay. Oh god, goodness me. Or Pokemans, I guess, is also where that comes into it. But yeah, Pokemans. How dare you? Ketsu says. All right. Cold Front was ours first.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was actually it was Magdalena that I talked to before I set up the channel to ensure it was okay on that server. So
it's fair enough.
Giving him a quick shout out.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, Rainer's not helpful at all. Confirmed. That's fine.
Oh, I was kicked from the IRC.
Yeah, I told you I was doing that.
Hey, you can't do it.
Credit baskets. There you go. Boop, boop, boop. Yes, if you have questions, please feel free to ask them right now. You have their undivided attention. Well, sort of. Outside of Irish getting taken over by the real life IRL Rising Sun kick. So.
Yeah.
I mean, we went through the show really well. I think there wasn't really anything I missed or skipped over. Actually, the flow was like right on there. It's like I know what I'm doing or something like that. Maybe
you get me on here and I won't shut up, but you get me in a guild or anything, and I just I'm shy.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah. It's because of the high five at BlizzCon. That's what made it. Yeah. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-boop. Man, it is. Woo. Florida. Hopefully the show stays online. I don't like DC sometime. It's gonna happen. Knock on wood. There we go. I'm trying to see. Twitter was kind of trolly, so there's no real questions on Twitter besides that one. Let's see.
I'm told that someone asked a question. I'm not seeing it. Cold Fist said. Someone said Cold Fist did.
Oh? Yeah, because Theorin is asking again about, is there a big gap between Brewmaster two-hand or dual-wield? Which, and I guess if you Windwalk, you can probably tank it pretty easily. Is there a stipulation between two-hand and dual-wield on Windwalker? I mean, not Windwalker, but Brewmaster?
Brewmaster two-hander is more reliable Lucia Brew gen, and dual-wield is more reliable Gift of the Ox generation, all your little orbs.
Yep, which Gift of the Ox is who uses that anymore? Well, not unless you want the boss behind you.
In clutch, like when if you're dying, I will go over those orbs all day long.
Yeah, no, we're kind of similar in that we were both Brewmaster main spec at one point.
Right.
But now Gift of the Ox is basically, I totally want the boss behind me.
Fair enough.
2-piece, 4-piece with Trinket and Chi Explosion. I'm getting a ton of RSK procs from Trinket. Is there any reason? No. Basically, if you're getting the application from your Trinket proc, there's no reason because per Chi Explosion is still going to be more.
Yep. Single target, I still think you cast Rising Sun Kick over a Blackout Kick just because it deals more damage, right? But
more damage.
For AoE, as long as you have stuff to cleave, Chi Explosion all day long, as long as it's getting applied and it's not going to fall off. Big
Necta asked about how long the episode's on YouTube. So how it works is the show goes live 4 Eastern on a Sunday, and basically a 24-hour period before it goes on YouTube. So this will be up on YouTube tomorrow in its full capacity by 4 p.m. Eastern, both the main show and the after show. And then it usually takes me another day-ish to make sure that iTunes and Stitcher have the podcast version, because I get it up on the website pretty quickly, but like the updating and system and whatever like that, if you want to listen to the podcast-only version, is there. So, but yeah, it's usually the next day for the video up on YouTube. So you can, of course, watch it on the VOD on Twitch if you want to, but that doesn't do anything for the show. That's why all the information, the social media stuff, and the links to add-ons and things are all nicely and bookmarked all in the YouTube, and it's all nicely packaged for you. But that usually takes the 24 hours after the 4 p.m. For the show going live. Yes. That's where it usually comes down to it for me.
So go subscribe and you'll see it pop up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. The YouTube link is all down below. Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting a lot of SCF questions. One I kind of answered in chat is it worth using SCF on targets with less than 10 seconds, or what amount of time is worth it? Less than 10 is kind of questionable because you have a lot of other classes that are going to be zerging it down really fast, and it's going to nerf your damage while probably not doing very much. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is that as soon as you cast it, you're minus whatever % damage, but you're not necessarily applying it through the clone. So, yeah, I would say over 10 seconds is probably worth it, though.
Yeah, if it's already like low health, don't even bother. Let the execute classes take care of it. They have a better toolkit for taking care of it. Yeah, your damage might go up a little, but like you're not offering anything to the raid.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think the Summon Stone, I don't have this pulled up right now. Is the Summon Stone Windwalker updated? I think it is. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, we'd have to ask Goal, which we're kind of questioning what's going to happen with that right now. So
okay, yeah, I don't think Maximize has updated it for 6.2.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be writing out the boss guide for Wowhead soon. I've already updated EJ and MMOC as far as the class guides go. So all the class guides are up to date. I don't control the Summon Stone one, so that's not on me.
Okay.
But I will be writing out a boss guide for Wowhead with it to update to go along with the BRF one.
Saucy, very nice. But you can plug that. But
like Bith said, we're both just too busy in HFC.
Well, right now, yeah. The first couple of weeks of any new content patch, a lot of you're gonna be busy. So yeah.
Oh yeah, no, and mine hit just as I'm joining a new guild as well as doing finals. So it's like, oh great, yeah.
Right. I got about 5 to 8 more minutes.
It probably is worth canceling SCF if you have Soul Capacitor up, because I don't think that it actually copies your damage from them, because they're attributed as a pet rather than as yourself.
I see a question in chat from Calli. Basic rotation question: use Tiger Brew when your CDs are off cooldown, Fist of Fury, Serenity, etc., or at 10 stacks. You don't necessarily have to use it at 10 stacks. Like, say your Serenity's up and you have a Tiger Strikes proc and you're only at 7 or 8. Use it. It's way more damage over the course of it than you waiting for that 10 stacks while things tick down.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's one thing that seems to get asked a lot. Oh, why aren't you using it at 10 stacks? Why aren't you waiting to 10 stacks? Because I'm using it when it's actually going to be beneficial. It's definitely going to be better to use that if I have, all of my trinkets procced than to sit here with, oh, no plus damage.
Yeah. And just because the button glows doesn't mean you have to press it.
Yep.
Right. It seems because Tiger Eye Brew is sort of this like ebb and flow cooldown that just sort of builds up over time. You want to maximize its usefulness based on encounters.
Yeah, you have to know what's happening. Like, say you have no procs, Serenity's on cooldown, and like you have 14 stacks. Wait a few seconds. Wait for trinket procs, or maybe a bunch of ads are coming up that need to die, or there's a burn phase, or etc. Like, you don't need to use it as long as you do not cap and you're not wasting procs from like Tiger Strikes or a trinket. You're fine. You're not losing damage. You wait for the opportunity to use it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, different fights. Like, I'm going to use the Gorfine one as an example. Like, you can open the fight probably with Tiger Eye Brew, but then you want to probably save up 20 for the 100% additional damage taken, like breath phase, where you can just chain that damage right from 10 stacks into the next 10 stacks and probably build up 10 more stacks in that regard to get 10 more stacks.
Yeah.
So, save your a cheaper stack at least for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the kind of min-max things that a lot of people don't do with Cheeber that they probably should is you only use both stacks in the beginning of the fight. You don't want to use it at any other time unless you have a big proc come up, because then you get the 2 extra chi because you're not using that for a jab, and you get the Tiger Eye Brew if you don't have 10 stacks already.
Gotcha.
It takes a lot of practice to get to that point, because you're not going to be able to be like, well, they said that I'm going to have to wait for a couple of seconds to use it. Like, it comes with like a lot of sitting on training dummies.
This is actually a really, really good question here. Windwalkers in general seem to have some of the worst secondary scaling, and it really shows since versatility is one of the strongest stats. In fact, it's the second strongest stat. I would say this very much concerns me. Anything with versatility, above your top 3 stats, in my opinion, is concerning, because it means that you're not getting as much from the other stats. which is kind of bad because that's what Frosty K was running into.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bad class right now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, Windwalker tends to seem to be balanced more around, hey, we don't have any gear, so we're beating everyone else. But now everyone else has gear, so they're beating us. So we do have some scaling issue because we don't get any very interesting procs from other stats.
Well, that and I think the real mark of a good Windwalker is the ability to use your abilities that don't deal damage offensively. Like I was saying earlier, your ability to just deal with a mechanic within a global and still come back to the boss to deal damage is huge. Like, some classes are out there for 9 to 10 seconds, and you're just like, nope, I'm a monk.
Yep.
Gum.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things is that we're capped at about 60 GCDs, which right now we're actually hitting our APM cap at 59.5 because we don't have anything off GCD. If we did, we'd all probably need arm braces. But it probably,
yeah,
if
the
we had our
little glove
combo
thing.
Yeah. If we had our combo breaker off GCD, it would be absolutely nuts. And if we actually had some kind of proc from multi-strike or crit, we'd probably scale a bit better with those.
Fiorin wants to know, you talk about using the multi-strike enchant now. I mean, actually, I think Irish said he might go crit, but do you use double haste weapon enchants?
I've in the past used haste enchants.
For tier 18
double haste
4
on my one-handers for checks.
Probably not, because 4-piece is kind of our set bonuses are devaluing it. But Chi Explosion's used on a wide variety of fights, so it's going to be a toss-up, I think. But I still think crit's going to be the strongest, just because, I don't know about you, but my raid's probably not going to give me 2 of the same weapon, and I probably don't want to be swapping out my enchants that often. Even though I have 5 million shards, that's a lot of gold.
And since crit is one of the better ones for single target now, it's great because when you swap Brewmaster, you don't need to change that enchant. You could use the same weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Although Brewmaster, you can still go multi-strike.
Yeah, you just get tons of little healing orbs. All your little golden friends.
Nord, we went over Soul Capacitor pretty in depth in the main show. That was a good 10-minute discussion about trinkets and stuff. So
worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, worth it. You can go back and check it in that one. And then Deceptive wants to know: do you still use Chi Brew if both stacks are about to come off cooldown?
Yes.
Do you always want to have one charging?
Yeah. I try to keep one charging and one up in case I get an important proc.
Okay.
You don't want to have them both off cooldown and then just wasting all that time, because then you might as well have Spec Dissension.
Yeah, and also keep in mind that so you have one that's charging, and then at the end of its charge is when the charge starts to the next one. So it's not, it's ridiculous. I kind of hate it.
your face, I think, proved
well,
that point.
Think of it like it decays runes. When you use a frost rune, only one charges at a time.
Right. Yep. Only one of each type. Yeah, exactly.
Just another source, what's the word I'm looking for? Right. Power source? I don't know. My brain just exploded.
Northern Man, regarding leveling on lower levels, do you ever need to use bandages in or outside combat? As a Mistweaver, I see first aid pretty useless now. Pretty good question.
As a Mistweaver?
I said Mistweaving, yeah. Yo,
first aid pretty useless.
I love when I use first aid sometimes on my shaman. I'll drop a healing rain, and I'll drop down healing screen totem, and then I'll bandage myself. And I'm like, I'm a healer myself! But I don't know.
Well, Windwalkers get when you kill something that drops a healing orb, they heals for 20k, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Afterlife.
You get Afterlife. You also do get Surging Lull, as I call it, because it's not that great.
Surging Lull. Wow.
Yeah. Because it heals for 2%. Expel Harm's actually very powerful, yeah.
Yeah. With in Tiger Eye Brew, my Expel Harm can hit for 120k. It's glorious. It's I'm dying, not. And I'd be able to deal all of that healing as damage. Well, 50% of that healing as damage. So, Gommel.
Yep.
Zatham, Hellfire High Council, would you use Serenity or Chi Explosion?
Similar to what was already said in chat. It depends on if you have them stacked long enough.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's probably not worth it to go Chi Explosion. Better to go Serenity.
I would go Serenity because you kill one very quickly.
You need to kill one very quickly.
And you can't have the woman with the group because she shields them. So I would probably always go Serenity that fight. Serenity and Chi Burst.
Yep, that's what I tend to do too, is Chi Burst and Serenity, especially because usually you can still get, from the Blade Master ads, you can still usually hit at least 1 or 2 of them at a time.
Yep.
In
And
addition
it's
to your
not
main
that much
target.
of a loss single target.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, Slim Tim wants to know, is it okay exclusively to use Serenity and Chi Brew while learning the spec? I don't see why not. I mean...
Yeah, I mean...
It's the best way to learn it is to use it.
Exactly. It's easier for you to learn how to use a button correctly if you've been using it incorrectly than to never have used it at all.
Fair enough. Another minute or two here. Let's see. Rez wants to know, what is it about Windwalker Monks that you guys enjoy? Anything like specific?
For me, it's always been the archetype. I mean, I absolutely love the monk archetype. When I heard what it was, I'm like, yeah, I'm swapping. I'm sorry, shaman. Goodbye. But also the gameplay is just really fun. I think that we're one of the classes where it's like, hey, we don't have any obvious utility like Hand of Protection or anything. So we kind of have to look at fights and be like, hey, we can do this with this mechanic.
Like, I like Monk just because the mobility, you're everywhere at once. You could be anywhere on the battlefield in like a global and a half.
Yeah. Sorry.
Your diffuse magic and Zen med is just like lol. What damage happened? And Touch of Karma, the damage I took, you're taking now.
Yeah.
4 per your Touch of Death, and the rotation itself is fun. It's just like I mean, it wasn't so much in Heimel, but it's fast. It's I mean, not so much intuitive, but like once you get used to it, it's very, very like kung fu.
Yeah. I always feel like I'm missing half of my toolkit whenever I'm on my ults. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't have Tiger's Lust and Flying Serpent Kick.
Yep.
Chai Tea, do you guys still feel that SEF is clunky? That's one of those buzzwords. But do you think
I don't
it's
think
clunky?
so. Because I've been using it. Like, I could see how it could be seen as clunky just because you have to know the rules behind it. But
okay.
like just from after practicing it, it gets kind of intuitive.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually would say that it's a little clunky though. I'll fall for the buzzword, even though I kicked people from IRC for that. Because it does require you to use weak auras. It does require you to know how to use an add-on, or not an add-on, but a macro. I even say it even kind of requires you to know how to use threat plates, because without threat plates, it's a pain to actually cast.
Sure.
Yep.
So yeah, I think as far as if you're going to compare it to Blade Flurry, yeah, it is very clunky. Because it's not necessarily a set it and
right.
forget it. It's a okay
you
target.
have to like
Yeah.
know what's happening. Like if they're gonna have to run across the planet or not to get to their target.
Well, they teleport now. They do this flying out. It's actually kind of cool. I was
Well, I
very
mean,
happy
like,
in beta.
After they're set and the boss moves, they have to
Yeah.
hold Sun over, and they don't Tiger's Lust or Flying Serpent Kick, even though I have it. Why aren't you doing it?
Yep.
Bip wants to know, because of the passive, do you actually auto-attack faster with the two-hander or dual wielding?
I think the two-handed actually does, because it does have the 40% increased haste,
Right.
which does affect your auto attack.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect your energy regen, but it
I mean,
does
you
affect
can-
your auto attack.
You can look at your paper doll, and you can see your swing timer when a two-hander or two one-hander is equipped. Like, you'll see, like,
Yep.
a 1.68 or, like, a 1.4 or whatever it is. Woo! Man.
Wow, I heard that.
You actually heard that one? It's
Yeah.
crazy right now.
That was
but
loud.
I think it's about time that if you guys have more questions for our guests, please feel free to jump into the Peak of Serenity IRC on Coldfront. Again, that information I will post in chat 2 more times, and of course the Chi Burst forums are right there. But I think it's button round 2, because I don't know if I'm gonna lose power right now, because this is a little crazy. So thank you all for being here for episode number 87's after show for Windwalker Monks. Of course, anything you need to know about Final Boss TV is on our website at FinalBoss.tv. Our social media is down below. Our YouTube's down below. Our Designed by Humans apparel shop and all that goodness. But I grab the table real quick again. We have... There's Calligraphy. You can follow her on Twitter at Calli Monk. You can ask her questions there or bother her in the IRC. Just don't say the word clunky, kids. Don't say it. Thank you for being on the show again, though, Calli. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And then they had Iryshe. You can follow him on Twitter at Irysheman. He braids in Raiding Rainbows. He'll be doing some things soon. Bother him there or in the IRC, of course, too. And thank you for being on the show, sir. Just don't get taken over by the Rising Sun Kick IRL. You all right there? I mean,
It's scary, man.
Yeah, a little bit. Woo, that's nuts.
Oh, thanks for having me, though. It was fun.
No, it was awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, of course, thank you, Hina, for being in chat and helping us with the show notes, of course, and answering questions during the main show itself. Next week, again, is going to be Mages, followed by the week after that, Enhancement Shaman. So please, you can send your questions in to the Ask a Boss button down below the stream. And send us an email if you want to be part of the War Crimes project for 3D modeling, for 3D modeling, digital artists, or 3D animation. We're looking for some more animators, modelers, or digital artists if you want to be part of the huge machinima project that is the War Crimes machinima. You can do that. And trusting your seal of inevitable fate. And hopefully I don't get swept away in this storm. Talking is hard. Don't worry about it. You guys have a great one. We'll see you in the YouTube comments. See you on Twitter. And until next week, everybody. Bye. Bye. Wave bye. Wave bye at nice people. Say bye. There you go. Yeah, I'll take it. It's good. Irish, it's okay. It's okay. Calm down, Irish. Goodness.
I got a multi-strike proc. I'm sorry.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. All right, I'm gonna run our post-show ads. If you guys want to stick around real quick and watch those and just tab away, that helps the show out quite a bit. If not, we'll see you later. Have a great night or morning, wherever it is you are. This holy crap baskets.